Today, what I wanted to do is talk about some of the different things that I do as a busy working woman to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I have 7 different things that I do. I put this together into a very easy to remember and understand framework. I use the acronym BALANCE, and this is something that you can use as you are a busy working woman trying to maintain your own health and wellness. So the balance method is something that I have put together of just the different things that I think that if you stay consistent with these things, you're going to experience improvements in your fitness, improvements in your health, improvements in your wellness, improvements in your mental fitness, and all of the things that go into a wellness plan, right? So the balance method is this. B stands for build muscles. So that's the first strategy is doing the things that you need to do to build and maintain your muscle. So things like doing resistance training, lifting weights, lifting heavy weights, wearing a weighted vest, going swimming, anything that gives you any sort of resistance against gravity is going to help you build muscle. You also want to make sure that you have the diet to support building muscle, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But remember that building muscle is very important for us, especially as we get beyond 30, 35, 40 and beyond. Having muscle is going to be so important for us as we get older. And by lifting heavy weights, lifting really heavy weights, like 6 to 10 reps, you're going to be able to build some beautiful, beautiful muscle. And you will not get bulky. I promise. I've been lifting for 30 years and I've never gotten bulky. So maybe a little extra fluff, but never super bulky. Okay. So the first part of the balance method is B, build muscle. The second is adequate hydration. That's the A, is adequate hydration. And that is to make sure that you're getting enough water in every single day. There are many of us, myself included, we like our teas and coffees and soft drinks and things like this, but we want to make sure that we're getting 3/4 to a full gallon of water per day. Now, I live in the desert. I drink a little bit more water than that. I also add electrolytes to my water. Number one, it helps it give it a little bit better taste. And number two, it gives me the electrolytes that I might be losing as part of just living in the desert. So make sure that you are getting adequate hydration. A lot of us are chronically dehydrated. This helps maintain bodily functions, helps with weight loss, and helps just keep our energy levels high. Sometimes when you're feeling tired or hungry, sometimes if you just take a big drink of water, sometimes that does help. The L in the balance method is to laugh and lower stress. So if you follow me on Instagram, I have on my caption is that I am the CEO of fun. This is something that one of my friend's daughters gave me. It's a title that she gave me. I told her I was the coordinator of fun. She's like, no, you're more like the CEO of fun. But the idea here is that just finding the laughter and the hilarity and funniness of things that just happen in everyday life that, sometimes things are frustrating. Sometimes things are whatever, but let's just try to find some of the, humor in everyday life. But then also doing things that are going to make you laugh. Sometimes just scrolling Instagram and watching reels makes me laugh, but you don't want to get sucked into that. You don't want to get sucked into that for 2 or 3 hours. Watching a movie, watching your favorite comedian, getting together with friends that are going to make you laugh and tell stories and things like this. So laughing is a really great way to help you lower stress. But then there's also other things that you can do to help lower your stress levels. Think about things that you might be able to eliminate out of your schedule, things that you can say no to. What kinds of things can you do to help manage the stress? Meditation, yoga, deep breathing, just taking 5 minutes of just peace and quiet, even if it's going and sitting out in the car or sitting in the bathroom, wherever it is you have to go, just to get 5 minutes of peace and quiet. So the L is to laugh and lower stress. A is to allow for sleep and recovery. And I know it can be very difficult. I know for myself, for sure, I'm at that point of life where I wake up at 1:30, 2 o'clock, wide awake, ready to go for the day. And I've only gotten 5.5 hours of sleep. And so what my doctor has always told me is to stay in bed, rest, keep my eyes shut, make sure that I'm getting some good rest. I have struggled with insomnia my whole life. So that is just something that I've always done on the advice of my doctors, is just make sure that just because you're awake doesn't mean you need to get up out of bed and go and do something. You can just lay there in the quiet, the peace and quiet, just enjoy it and try to get some rest, and you might doze back off. So the other piece to this is to allow for recovery time. So if you're going to go do a workout, you're not going to go do a super strenuous workout on Monday, then go do a super strenuous workout Monday night, and then go do a super strenuous workout Tuesday, and then go do another one Tuesday night. You're not going to do that. You need to have that recovery time in between there. You need to give your body a chance to repair the muscles, the tissues, all of the things that have been damaged during the previous workout session or whatever it is that you're doing. That's how we get stronger. We get stronger during that rest period of where your body is repairing itself. So you want to make sure that you allow for sleep and recovery. The N stands for nurture your body and mind. This is just things that you need to do for self-care and mental wellness. What are the things that make you happy? What are the things that you like to do that maybe you're super busy, you've got a lot on your plate, but can you find 5 minutes to do this thing? I know for myself, one thing that I really, really love, and it doesn't take any time, is I love eucalyptus lotion. Like I love the way it smells. And just by putting it on my hands and smelling it, it just kind of calms me. It feels peaceful. So finding some of those easy things that you can do to nurture your body and mind. The other thing I recommend is reading a physical book. So Kindles and Nooks and all that, those are great. Those are wonderful. I have one myself. I check out a lot of books from the library. It has saved a ton of bookshelf space for me. They're wonderful. Even the ones with, the page white, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Those are great too. But you want to make sure that you're getting some time off screens. And we spend so much time during the day on the screen. We're going to talk about this when we come to the E in the balance method, which is enjoy nature. But we got to do things where we are getting off of the screens. And I don't care if they're the paper white, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You need to get time off the screen. So find things that you can do that you like to do that don't involve staring at a screen. So is it, maybe going outside and going for a walk with your family? Or is it doing a knitting project? Or is it doing crafts? Whatever it may be, find something that you can do to help nurture both your body and your mind, something that you just really enjoy doing, and you're not doing it for anything other than the purpose of you enjoy doing it. The C in the balance method is to create a protein-rich meal plan. This goes with building muscle, and that you need to have enough protein in order to build that muscle. So you'll say, Heather, how much protein should I be eating? Well, the rule of thumb that I use is 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. So whatever it is that you feel like you should weigh, or whatever it is that you're working towards, that is the number of grams of protein per day that you should eat. So if your goal weight, or if you currently weigh 150 pounds and you want to stay 150 pounds, you're going to eat 150 grams of protein per day. If you weigh more than that and you want to weigh 150 pounds, you'll eat 150 grams of protein per day. That's not 150 grams of chicken breast or 150 grams of steak. It's the protein content within the meat and the yogurt and cottage cheese and some of the plants that we eat. So I really highly suggest using an app like MyFitnessPal. Fitbit's got one. There's Lose It. There's a lot of different apps. I personally use MyFitnessPal. I've used it for well over 10 years. And you can put your food in there, how much you're eating of it, and it will tell you how many grams of protein are in that particular thing that you're eating. And you'll start to develop a sort of an awareness of how much protein's in certain things, what things have higher protein than others. A meal plan, first of all, I think a meal plan is beneficial for this reason right here. You sit down on Sunday night, Saturday night, Monday night, whatever night, I don't care, whatever works for you, and you plan out your meals. And then you go to the grocery store, you put it in the app, and you get it delivered to you, or whatever it is that you do to get groceries. And you plan out that week. All you've got to do is execute. That's all you've got to do. You don't have to sit there and get decision fatigue and go, what am I having for lunch today? What am I having for dinner tonight? What am I going to make? What are we going to do? Blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do any of that, okay? You make the plan, you just execute the plan. And so what you'll do is, let's say you want to get 150 grams of protein per day, and you decide, I'm going to eat 5 meals, so maybe 3 meals and 2 snacks. Then what you'll do is you'll take that 150 grams of protein divided at 5 meals. That's 30 grams of protein per meal. So from there, what you could do is you can start building out your meal plan saying, okay, what is the protein that I'm going to have in each one of these meals? Start there. Start with, this meal I'm going to have egg whites. This meal I'm going to have salmon. This meal I'm going to have steak. This meal I'm going to have Greek yogurt. Okay. And so what you can do is then start building out your meal plan that way. Start with protein. Lead with the protein. Okay. So the C is create protein-rich meal plan. And an E in the balance method is to enjoy nature. As I said earlier, I am a huge advocate for getting off of screens. I work in tech. I've worked in tech for a really, 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 really long time. I'm just like, a lot of you that just sit and have to stare at a screen all day. And especially if you're working remotely, you're staring at a screen even more, because when you go to your meetings, you're staring at the Zoom screen or Microsoft Teams meetings or whatever it is, versus going and sitting in a conference room and actually looking at people, not staring at that screen. So if you spend some time in nature, I lately have been sitting in my backyard in the mornings and having a cup of coffee. Okay. That's been wonderful. I get to get outside. It's nice and quiet, and I get to enjoy nature. The other benefits, there's so many benefits to getting outside in nature, but one thing I don't think we talk about enough, and this is something that my optometrist told me, was that when we sit there and we stare at our screens all day, and then we watch our tablets, we watch YouTube. You might be watching YouTube right now on a tablet, and then we start reading, our Kindles or reading our books. We're looking at so much stuff that's like 6 to 12 inches away from our face. And we're not given that opportunity to use those muscles that makes us look at and focus on things further away. So when you're driving, you can do this. You can focus on things that are further away. But one nice thing about getting outside and going for a walk or going and spending some time in the park or whatever it may be is you can find something off into the distance and you can start focusing on that. And that's going to allow you to use some of those muscles that you might not be using as you're sitting and staring at the screen all day. There's also so many other health benefits. I'm going to make so many videos about this, about just spending some time in nature and how it helps calm you, how it helps calm your nervous system. Spending some time getting your feet directly on the ground. It's called grounding. It might not work when it's 165 degree ground here in Phoenix right now, but wherever you may be, you obviously probably don't want to do it in the middle of February in the Midwest, but get some time outside, just barefoot on the ground. And that's going to really help you calm your nervous system. I'm going to be making so many more videos about this because I'm just so passionate about this stuff. But the E in the balance method is to go outside and enjoy nature. And so these are all things that I think that is very easy to accomplish and to integrate into your day as a busy working woman, whether you're working from home, whether you are on the road, or whether you go and work in an office. These are all things that you can do, that you can add into your day. If we do these things consistently, you're going to find 4, 5, 6 months, you're going to start seeing some very, very, very good results. And these are going to be things that just become second nature to your life. And this is just what you do. And this is how you balance your work and your wellness and build a healthy lifestyle as a working woman. So thank you. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please share it with somebody who you think might find it helpful as well. And I'll see you in the next video.